Okay. Hi, everybody. We have decided to do a little bit of a video series to tell you a little bit about the nutrition programs that are available to you because I know that that's like everybody's biggest struggle. Because honestly, it's enough trouble to press play on your workout, but I feel like that as you make it a habit just gets easier. That's the fun part. That's the part where you see everybody getting their sweat on in the morning, but the nutrition is the part where we all struggle because our days are just filled with temptations. And part of it is that I feel like until you really dive into this, a lot of us don't really know how we're supposed to be eating for the goals that we have. I can tell you from my past experience, when I first started doing Beachbody workouts, I thought that I was eating healthy, but I really thought at that time that healthy was like salad and plain chicken. And so I tried to eat healthy-ish. My day would go a little bit like this. I would wake up and I would usually have Kashi cereal, which is like a high protein cereal, but it's processed. Um, I would have probably like just coffee after that for a while. And then in lunchtime, I usually would have leftover dinner. But right around like, I don't know, 3 p.m., I would start getting snacky. Like I would start getting hungry. And mostly it was because I wasn't eating enough protein in the beginning of my day. My beginning of my day was mostly carbs. So I was having that like energy spike and crash, spike and crash. And I was getting to that 3 o'clock hour and reaching for goldfish, Cheez Its, anything I could get my hands on, whatever. And then I would eat dinner, which was, healthy ish, but it wasn't really getting me to where I wanted to be. I really had a goal of building muscle. I wanted to build tone. I had pounds to lose from pregnancy, and my diet was not really getting me the results from my workouts that I wanted. And I can tell you that if you can get your diet to enhance the results of the work that you're putting in your workouts every day, you're going to see a total shift in your results and you're going to start seeing that momentum build. And you will also notice that the more that you make in changes in your diet, the less that you're going to crave the stuff that you shouldn't have. And a lot of this is a lot less complicated than I think that some people think it was. I know I really shied away from looking at these nutrition programs. I would have told you, like, oh, I'm doing the workouts, but I'm not really doing the nutrition. Right, because I didn't read it. I'm not even sure to this day that I have read the nutrition program from the first Beachbody program that I actually followed. And I really just thought it was going to be way too complicated. I didn't think I needed that. I thought I could do it without it. And I was just floored by the amount that I learned about eating once I actually put effort into reading through it and understanding it and putting it into practice. So I'm going to share my screen right now. I'm going to show you first. Hang on. All right, so this is Beachbody On Demand. And if you have access to this, you've probably familiarized yourself with this tab for workouts. And here are all of your fitness programs that you're accessing every day to do bar blend or whatever program it is that you are working through right now. And all of your programs are here. Now, before I even go into the nutrition programs, of course, it's not going to load. Come on, thing. So if you have access to just the Beachbody workout programs, you have access to the original 21-day fix, which is not the real new version, and it's not Ultimate Portion Fix. Like, these are the real-time versions. These are new. They're great. But if you go back in the day to the original 21-day fix right here, and you go into this program, the original program here was designed around portion fix containers that matched different macros in your diet. So if you actually go into program materials, and this is true of any program on BOD, there is a nutrition program if you go into these program materials that you can read through for nutrition. These tally sheets are things you can use to keep track of this nutrition program, but I'll come back to that. So I'm going to go right here to nutrition, and I'm going to go to the eating plan right here. And I'm going to kind of show you the basics. This is where Ultimate Portion Fix kind of came about. This is the original 21-day fix, portion fix containers. And if you go into this and you read through this, you will find this really taught me so much about my targets for different kinds of foods and using these containers. But I'll show you with the set of these containers, getting started has to do with a formula, has to do with your activity level, your current weight, what your goals are, and you'll see that each of these colored containers correspond to different foods. So we've got green for veggies, purple for fruits, proteins, carbs, healthy fats, seeds, and dressings. And there are all these colors here. And each container is a size that equals one portion of that kind of food. And here is the calculations for how you figure out your target. So you actually plug in your weight, and then do the little thingies here, and you come out with this magical calorie target, but we don't really count calories, we count containers. So I, in the beginning, was a plan A, and now I eat more like a plan B, just because I'm in more of a maintenance mode now. My target was 4 greens, 2 purples, so 2 fruit servings, 4 reds, so that was 4 protein servings, which I for sure was not getting. 2 carbohydrates. And let me tell you, when you're eating like oatmeal or cereal in the morning, a sandwich at lunch, and then like rice or quinoa or whatever, those all sound like healthy things, but that's like 4 yellows, 4 or 5 yellows probably, versus the 2 that I really should have been sticking to. 1 healthy fat, 1 orange, which is seeds or dressings, and then 3 teaspoons, and teaspoons count your oils and your nut butters and kind of like those little extra things. So you have this count that you're supposed to track, and each time you eat a meal, you subtract what you ate out of your totals. So for example, today, if I were following my plan B or my plan A really, I started out my day with Shakeology, which is 1 red. I put half a banana, which is 1 purple. I put a handful of spinach, which is 1 green, and I put peanut butter, which is a teaspoon for nut butter. So I would subtract 1 from each of those categories, and that's what I have left. For lunch today, I had salmon and zucchini, so that was another red for salmon. Might have been more of like a 1.5, because the red is, and I'll show you them in a minute, it's about 3/4 of a cup, but it looks like this. And then I had zucchini, which was a green. And then I also had, for a snack, I had a half of a sprouted grain English muffin with a little bit of peanut butter on it. So that was 1 of my yellows and 1 more teaspoon. So I still have 2 more reds to eat today. I have 2 more greens to eat today. I've got 1 more purple. I've got my blue still that I need to work in. So I'm aiming for those. Now, I still have room if I want right now for another yellow with dinner, but the yellows are where you kind of build in your treats. I like to save them up. So like if you're going to have that treat, like, you know, a fancy Starbucks drink, or you want to have a little dessert tonight, or, you know, you want to have a glass of wine, that comes out of your yellows. So you want to bank those and save those up, because those are carbs. Your sugar treats are carbs. So you can have whatever you want, really, but you need to plan for it. There's a trade-off. So it's very much more of like a tweaks. And that's where we kind of explain to people that you can really eat whatever you want. You just can't have it all at once. So it's more of a trade-off, and you kind of learn to do this in your sleep. Because at first, I have a tracker book, and I'll show you that. What did I do with my tracker book? Here we go. So I'll stop share. I'll come back to this. So I have a tracker book that shows you how to do this. You can also download the Beachbody Nutrition Plus app. So that if you don't like pencil and paper, you can track on an app on your phone. But this helps me keep track. And to be honest, after you track for a while, you start to not need to track because kind of you have it in your head and you know the little formulas. Like if you are going to have a yellow, red, purple for breakfast, and then you're going to have a green, red for lunch, or a green, yellow, red for lunch. Like you start kind of building those little formulas in, and you kind of always know about how much you have left. And you definitely know when you've gone over, so that you need to kind of correct in the later part of your day for what you had in the beginning. So that is what you can do without purchasing anything new at all. That's in your bod. You can go in there right now and do that. And honestly, this set of containers, I believe, is $9.99 on the Beachbody website. You can buy yourself a set of these little guys. Your purple, your red. And these, again, for a while, this is really helpful to measure and dump it out on the plate. I can tell you that these are for sure deceivingly small, deceivingly large. Like they look small, but when you dump out your portion, you're like, oh, actually, that's kind of a lot, because you can stuff these guys. And here's your purple, your blue, and your orange. So you get a little set of those when you purchase Ultimate Portion Fix, or you can purchase them separately for $9. Now, with those guys, there are also food lists, and I'll show you. Let me go back to my screen share. Okay, so there are, after your plans, here's your tally sheet, so you can keep track of your portions. And then there is a list, and I think it's in here. These are all different. You know what? I don't think it is in here. It's up here. The food list will show you what counts in the different categories. And honestly, if you Google it, you can pretty much figure out anything and how it fits into 21 Day Fix, how Portion Fix eating plan. But the food lists will help you with things that are not measurable, like 2 eggs is a red, half a banana is a yellow. So it gives you like 20 pistachios is a blue. So things that you can't necessarily measure easily, you can kind of go on here and see how to, how to count it. And they've got, all kinds of things that you can learn how to count beverages. You can learn how to count different fruits, different sunflower seeds, all kinds of, anything you want is kind of on here. And basically, if it's not on here, you probably want to think about whether it's processed or whether it is a food that's made up of more than one thing that's on here, and you can kind of figure out how to count it into your day. Now, this is the original 21 Day Fix. Last year, Autumn Calabrese, who developed 21 Day Fix and also the Portion Fix meal plan, created Ultimate Portion Fix. And Ultimate Portion Fix is a more comprehensive, kind of like an online course for how to really implement this into your life. And what it is if you're really just not sure how to apply this, or you really just don't know where to start with how to start eating this way and how to start making changes in your diet, you go through a series of videos. And these are a one-time purchase. You purchase this one time. I want to say it's like $80. And I know that it's on sale right now. I want to say it's $20 off. I'll check on that. But these are a one-time purchase. Once you purchase it, you have access forever. They come with a workbook that you use along the way that will help you really kind of apply this to you. It looks like this. It's a pretty thick workbook, and it's actually, I learned so many things from going through this, and this is even after I had been doing 21 Day Fix for a while. But the thing I like about this is not only does it give you basics, but it gives you meal prep strategies that are not hard. They are like legit, real people meal prep strategies. There's a way to apply this to your family, to picky eaters, to husbands that are maybe not on board with your eating plan, to kids that maybe don't have healthy eating habits. It is not a diet. It is a way to help introduce healthier foods to your family. And then there's things like easy ways for special days, how to handle things like restaurants, takeout, eating out, you know, celebrations, buffets, any kind of situation, holidays, that you can kind of still stay on plan and build that in and still feel good instead of like going off the rails just because it's a special day. Um, so there's different modules. These are each modules, and then within each module, like here's Containers 101, there's a whole bunch of videos, and you can work your way through these at your own pace. There's ways to make this vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, all kinds of things. So she really addresses any kind of eating or dietary needs, and it honestly is, it's really amazing. And I learned just an incredible amount of things that you can do with your nutrition. She teaches different ways of following this eating plan. There's the basic 21-day fix, portion fix that I kind of already showed you, where you can kind of mix and match your containers however you want throughout the day, as long as you fit within your plan. She also goes through a carb cycling, which is sort of a, she says you can follow it for up to 3 weeks. If you had like a special event, like a vacation or a wedding or something that you really wanted to drop some weight for, you can do this for 3 weeks. It is not a long-term plan, but it's like a fast, kind of like a quick jump start. There's also something called timed nutrition, which sounds complicated, but I actually think it kind of is a little bit easier in the long run, because she actually tells you, it's a little more athletic eating, but she actually tells you which containers to eat at which time. So she'll actually tell you that in the morning before your workout, you should have a red, a green, and a yellow. When you're done your workout, you should have another red, green, and yellow. In the afternoon, you should have a snack that is a purple, a green, and a blue. So you can kind of figure out what you want to put in the containers, but she's very specific about which ones at which time because of how the nutrients are absorbed by the body. So if you really want to maximize your athletic results, that would be a really good program too. I did it with 80-Day Obsession, and I have reminders on my phone for what to eat and when. So that is Ultimate Portion Fix. We will kind of come back on during the week and talk more about To Be Mindset as an option. If this is sounding kind of too formulaic or too rule-based for you, To Be Mindset might be a really good alternative. Both are really effective, and they're just sort of different approaches to your nutrition. So I thought that this might be a helpful way to get you started if you already have access to Beachbody On Demand, because you can go look at the basic 21-day fix plan, and you can kind of see where Ultimate Portion Fix might be something that would help you and your family to eat a little bit healthier. So we will come back on this week and talk more about To Be Mindset. If you have questions about 21-day fix or portion fix or Ultimate Portion Fix, drop them in the comments below, and we would love to answer them because we'll have a Q&A later in the week. Bye, everybody.